Notice your breathing right now. For most of us, air barely reaches the upper chest before it's pushed back out. Every time you take these short, shallow breaths, you are effectively accelerating the aging process, speeding up your own decay. We think of aging as a slow, unavoidable creep of time, but breathing this way forces premature cellular breakdown. The math of nature is visible across the animal kingdom. A dog with its rapid and frantic panting rarely sees 20 years. Meanwhile, a tortoise draws out a single, slow breath over several minutes and can live for centuries. In biological terms, there is a direct correlation between the speed of respiration and the duration of life. Humans are the only species that has lost touch with its baseline breathing rhythm. Watch an infant sleep, and you'll see their stomach rise and fall with deep, rhythmic breaths. But as we grow, stress and habit pull that breath upward, leaving us with a shallow, restricted pattern. This isn't just a bad habit, it's a structural failure. By breathing only into the top of our lungs, we are artificially speeding up the biological clock that dictates how fast we age. Modern tension restricts breathing to the upper chest, utilizing only 30% of our lung capacity. The bottom 70% remains a static biological junkyard. Without fresh air, old gases pool at the base, creating a stagnant environment where cellular decay and inflammation find permanent footholds. This chronic lack of deep oxygenation reaches into our very DNA. These glowing caps on the ends of our chromosomes are telomeres. They protect our genetic code, but the low-level systemic stress caused by shallow breathing causes them to fray and shorten prematurely. When these caps disappear, the cell can no longer replicate and effectively dies. We often look to external medicine to fix the signs of aging, but these treatments struggle to compensate for a respiratory system that is operating at only a fraction of its intended capacity. To reverse this, we have to look at the ancient practice of Kumbhaka, or breath retention. This is a method of creating deliberate internal pressure. By inhaling and holding the breath, you aren't just pausing, you are initiating a specific chemical reaction throughout your entire system. The moment you stop the flow of air, carbon dioxide begins to build up in your bloodstream. While we usually think of this gas as a waste product, in high enough concentrations, it acts as a signal for the body to change its internal chemistry. This chart shows the Bohr effect. Rising carbon dioxide changes blood acidity. This pH shift signals blood vessels to dilate and fully expand. Once open, oxygen is released, pushing through vessel walls and flooding dormant, oxygen-starved cells. The goal isn't necessarily to breathe in more air, but to use the pressure of the hold to ensure your body actually utilizes the oxygen already present in your blood. This physical vacuum does more than move oxygen. It sends a powerful signal to the brain. When you hold your breath, the nervous system briefly perceives a survival crisis. To conserve energy, the brain activates the vagus nerve. As you see in this map of the nervous system, a signal travels down the central nerve cord, immediately dampening erratic stress responses and focusing the body's resources on essential functions. During this period of forced internal stillness, the body begins a deep cleanup. It shifts away from external activity and toward internal repair, identifying and breaking down damaged or inefficient cells to sustain itself through the perceived crisis. This internal pressure also reaches dormant stem cells. The temporary lack of oxygen creates a stimulus that triggers the production of regenerative hormones, encouraging these cells to activate and begin rebuilding damaged tissue. By inducing this controlled physiological stress, you force your body to prioritize cellular repair and regeneration over routine maintenance. We tend to confuse the number of years we've lived with our actual physical state, but biological aging is simply the accumulation of cellular damage that hasn't been repaired. Making Kumbhaka a consistent practice changes the body's relationship with that damage. It shifts the system from a state of passive decline into a state of active internal self-correction. This data shows the potential gap between our age and our function. A person can be 60 years old chronologically, but by consistently clearing out metabolic waste and stimulating stem cell activity, they can operate with the biological capacity of someone much younger. Vitality isn't something that can be stored or bought. It is a state that must be actively regenerated through the way we handle our most basic biological functions. Because this practice involves shifting your internal chemistry, it must be approached with care. You are working with your biology, not fighting against it. The first step is simple awareness. Begin with internal retention, holding a full breath for 5 seconds, and move to external retention, holding the exhale for 5 seconds. These small intervals are enough to begin the signaling process. At first, the brain will resist the silence. You'll feel a reflexive urge to gasp. This is the threshold where the nervous system begins to adapt, and it requires consistent, gentle practice to extend that comfort zone. Reversing the effects of aging doesn't require a laboratory. By mastering the stillness between your breaths, you re-engage an innate rhythm that has been present in your body since birth, allowing you to manage your biological clock from the inside out.